and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor, and today on our Motivation and Mindset Monday, we've got a show that will hopefully make you a little uncomfortable. I'll get to that in just a moment, but one of the reasons why I like coming up with these titles like Getting Comfortable with Being Uncomfortable is because I want you to understand that we all have goals in life, right? Not all of them are financial-based, not all of them are health wellness-based, not all of them are body transformation-based, and not all of them are relationship or spirituality based. What I'm trying to say is this, is that typically we're doing well in certain areas of our life, but not in others. And it's those certain areas that just seem to stick with us. Like we're never doing great with our finances, or never doing great with our body, or never doing great with our relationships, whatever it might be, or even our own self-confidence, our own self-image. And there's a specific reason that there really is. And one of the reasons is we're typically really comfortable with the things that we're good at, right? Like, a lot of times, the best example I can give is a lot of people go to the gym and they do the same dozen exercises over and over and they just kind of rotate through them. And the reason is they're good at those exercises. They enjoy them because they're good at them. They don't really challenge them at all. But the problem is this, just like your body, like your body's not going to change unless you challenge it, right? So if you're used to picking up some dumbbells, you put them on your shoulders, and you squat down, and let's just say they're 10-pounders, and you do 10 reps with those 10-pounders, and you do that for a couple sets. Well, great. After a couple weeks, you've gotten some results from that, but then that's it. Like, your body will never change doing those squats. You might maintain. That's cool. You know, if you're good with that, then you're good with that. But the problem is this. Unless you go to those 12 and a half, 15s, or you start adding reps, until you make your body get uncomfortable, there's no way that those quad muscles, those hamstrings muscles, those glutes, those core muscles, none of those muscles are going to change their shape. None of the body fat, the metabolism is not going to be boosted unless you decide, you know what? I'm not happy with where I'm at, so I need to get a little bit uncomfortable, right? I need to actually add a little bit more weight. I need to get sweating a little bit. I need my legs to burn. And unless that happens, well, you know what? You're not going to start to see any results. I mean, that's how we need to look at things in life in general, meaning like, okay, let's say right now you have a health-based condition, and you know what? I've tried different nutritional supplements. I've tried different foods, and you haven't gotten the results. Well, one, you might not have stuck with it long enough. Two, you just might not be following the right plan. Or three, you're not willing to take it to the next level. I see a lot of people, they run all the labs, right? They come, they listen to the consults with their functional medicine doctor. They say, okay, this makes sense, but they're like, you know, I have a wedding in 2 weeks, or I'm going on vacation in another week. I'll start it when I get back. Or, you know what? It just seems like too much. I don't know if I can swallow all these capsules. Or I don't think I'm ready to go to the gym yet. I don't think I can really exercise. There probably isn't time of the day. Here's the thing. Like, getting to that next level is not going to be easy. And I mean, that's just the truth, right? Because if it was easy, you'd already have done it. And so would everyone else. I mean, the bottom line is this. In the United States, only 13% of the population, out of everyone in the population, belongs to a gym. And that doesn't even mean they go to the gym. That just means 13% of the population actually has a gym membership. But I know from way back in the day from working in gyms that only up to 20% of the people who have a gym membership actually go. So now if we're taking 20% of 13, what are we at? Like 3%, 4%? That's it. So now, like, that's such a minuscule amount of people. So we know people want to get in better shape, but why aren't they then taking that next step? And one of the reasons is this, is they're going to have to change. And that means they're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. That means they're going to have to get rid of some of maybe their favorite cheat foods. That means they're going to have to give up alcohol maybe for a couple weeks if they really want those results. And if they want to get rid of those digestive issues, they might have to give up gluten. They might have to give up dairy. There might have to be things that they have to give up. And if they run a food sensitivity test, well, you know what? And if some of their favorite foods come up as high, they're going to have to eliminate those too. Will it be forever? Maybe not. But the truth is this, that you need to put in an extra level of effort to get there. And it does not have to be hard, but it has to be different. And, you know, so I love this quote, and I really do. I believe it is the way. The only way to grow really is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, understanding that you're going to have to go through a certain level of moving outside of your comfort zone if you want that next level of results, because that next level of results is actually reserved for people who are willing to go through a little bit of those trials and tribulations. But again, one of my favorite quotes is this: if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. Let me repeat that. I love that quote. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. That means this: if you stick within your little comfort zone, I have my own. Believe me, I'm not preaching whatsoever. I'm giving myself the same pep talk right now because I have the own areas of my life that I need to improve in. And so this pep talk is for me as well, and I hope it's working. So I know that I have to take that next step, whatever it might be. Like about 5 years ago, I was part of a healthcare practice. There was 2 chiropractors, there were 2 acupuncturists, there was a massage therapist, and then there was one other rehab specialist, and I was the naturopathic doctor there. And it was a great practice. It wasn't my practice. I had one of the rooms in that practice, and it was great. But I said, for me to truly do what I want to do 5 years ago, I need to open up my own practice because I need to be able to use all of the modalities to be able to help people get well. And I didn't have access to that at this other great center. That wasn't my place. So I had to get a little uncomfortable. I had to all of a sudden lease a place. And it was a big place. And I had to do a full renovation. Again, not knowing, but taking that next step, believing in the results that I could get people. And then again, taking that next step, hiring people, growing a team. And now we have 20 people on our team. We have a huge team, and we're the largest wellness center in basically all of the Boston, Massachusetts area. And that did not come without me being really uncomfortable, right? Whenever you take that bigger leap, there is that level of feeling a little scared, right? Like, wait, what's going to happen here? But, I didn't start with that, right? So it started with me on my own journey of getting well, and then, being a little nervous, apprehensive of contacting mentors and saying, hey, can I pay you for an hour of your time? I need some of your knowledge because I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I seem to get well and then relapse again. I seem to, take a step forward and 2 steps back. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not great. Like, how can I take my health to that next level? And then I attended seminars and all of these different things. And then after that, I said, got some great encouragement by one of my mentors to go back to school. So then I get my degree as a naturopathic doctor, and I had to change my life to do that as well. So again, there's all of these levels, and I'm not saying that you need to just jump, but what I need you to do is take a step out of your comfort zone. And I'm telling you, when you do that, what happens is yes, things could go wrong. I'm not saying that. But the problem is, if things never go wrong, you have no way of learning. You have to do something in order to learn what you don't even know right now, right? You don't even know the right questions to ask because you haven't been exposed to new things. You need to expose yourself to those new things. But here's the other things. Things could go incredibly well. And no matter what, as long as you don't give up, you're going to make it. You're going to succeed because you can only make so many mistakes. Believe me, I've been there. And I made mistakes for a half a decade while trying to get well, right? Eventually, I succeeded. And the only reason I succeeded was because I'm extremely stubborn. That's the bottom line. I had some really dark days. But after a couple weeks of feeling sorry for myself, I picked myself back up and I said, I'm just not going to give up, and I don't care if it kills me. I am going to keep pushing forward until I become healthy again, but not just healthy, until I reach a peak level of energy, wellness, health. I don't want to have swollen glands all of the time. I don't want to be exhausted. I don't want to have brain fog until basically 11 a.m. I want all of that for myself, and I'm not going to give up until I reach it. And I failed and failed and failed again, but eventually I succeeded. And I only succeeded because I figured out so many different things that didn't work that I eventually found out what I needed to do. Every step was a building block. And I'm telling you, when you do this, when you have this mindset where you eventually get really comfortable with becoming uncomfortable, that's when you make breakthroughs. You honestly do. And I'm telling you, once you make this breakthrough, you're going to be so excited. You're going to feel so great. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be ebbs and flow to life, but you're going to feel so great that it's going to allow you then to take on new challenges. And honestly, that's what it did for me. Once I got well, I said, wow, if I could figure this out when no one else could figure it out. And I had been to over 50 doctors, ran thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of lab tests. I'd used minimum of 500 nutritional supplements, minimum, and read thousands of books. And I said, this just shows stubborn persistence. And I know if I can be that type of person in terms of my health, I know that anything I put my mind to, I can achieve. And that is just giving me a little bit more confidence to kind of go after things in life. But I'll tell you, even better than that, when you achieve your goals and whatever it might be, health, wellness, weight loss, sports, financial, career, spirituality, consciousness, enlightenment, any of those things. The beautiful thing is this: you want to share that with others. You have this like zealous, passionate enthusiasm for what you've just discovered, and that is the hierarchy of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you didn't listen to my show on that, please do tune back to a previous Motivation and Mindset Monday. It's on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He was a brilliant psychologist, and when you reach that pinnacle, that enlightened level, that high level, it doesn't mean that you're a Zen monk, but what it means is that you've achieved something that really sparks a fire in you, that gives you that natural enthusiasm, that natural energy. You want to share that with others. That's called paying it forward. When you've hit that level, I'm telling you, you will feel on top of the world, and you will know that you've truly made it. Now, of course, there are those ebbs and flows of life. Everyone has bad days. There's no doubt about that, but you will have more good days than bad days, and you will truly appreciate everyone and everything around you. Yes, everyone and everything, even those people who give you a little bit of grief sometimes, because you know it is all part of your journey. It's everything that you are meant to experience, and that's the beautiful thing. We don't want all good. We want some of those things that just reminds us how good we do have it when we do have it good. So again, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Begin to remember that quote, understand that quote, write that quote down, that if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning into another Cabral Concept. Thank you for just tuning into the Cabral Concept. By now, I'm sure you probably heard how important it is to get enough vitamin D all year round to prevent serious health issues like bone loss, depression, weight gain, fatigue, energy metabolism, and even cancer. In my private practice in Boston, I make sure that every person I work with has their vitamin D levels monitored during the winter, or at least supplements with 1,000 and 2,000 IUs of vitamin D3 per day. That's why this month, as a valued listener, I would like to offer you a complimentary bottle of vitamin D3 with any order you place on the StephenCabral.com online store. It's my gift to you and my way of trying to help you stay healthy and strong all winter long. To get your free 2 to 3 month supply bottle of vitamin D3 while supplies last, simply go to StephenCabral.com/store. There you'll find all of my top at-home functional medicine lab tests, nutritional supplements, and everyday products I recommend in my Boston practice. The first 100 orders in January will receive a complimentary bottle of vitamin D free of charge. Thank you again for listening to the Cabral Concept.